Happy. Hey, girl. I'm just going to wait a few moments before we get started officially. And hello to all the listeners that will be listening at a later time. You are appreciated as well. And thank you for even taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to me in my mouth. So today is Monday, October 7th, and I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. I know I did. And you know what? I also want to give a shout out to Google News because Google News is actually I'm sure most Android users have it already on their phones. I have the iPhone app, and Google News is actually where I get and it's usually updated in real time. I like fresh tea. I don't like tea that's been sitting in. Nobody wants lukewarm tea. We want hot tea. So shout out to Google News for helping me prepare for my topics on a daily basis. You are very much appreciated. And the thing about Google, because it is Google, you know how they Google allegedly spies on us. But I mean, in my case, that's pretty good because it knows exactly what kind of tea I like, what kind of tea I want to read. Even with one of the stories I shared, I will be sharing later in the show. Of course, I know nothing about sports ball, but Google was like, "Look, I know you don't care nothing about no sports ball, but check out what this football player got going on." And I was like, "Ooh, okay. Well, I'll be talking about it in the show." Will, my favorite tourist. 2 minutes, and then I'll get started. That we'll start off with the sherry stuff first. I know some people don't really care too much for her, but I still watch and support. Including my mother. She's so mean towards Sherry. Like, I'm not watching it because she feels like Sherry had a hand in taking away Wendy Williams' show. And I'm like, no, she didn't. She,
Because you have sense. That's why.
ooh. But yes, happy. I don't know if you knew that, but yep, a lot of the tea that I share, I get that from Google News. Okay, so it's 2:05 now. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start with the sherry tea and get that out of the way. So at the beginning of the show, she actually came out. I mean, I liked the dress. The dress was cute, but I'm just like, okay, who was working in her wardrobe department? Why did they put on them shoes with this dress? And she had her Janet Jackson feedback ponytail without the bang. And she was cute, right, from head to ankle. But honey, once she got to them shoes, I was like, wow. But I'm going to share a photo of what she had on today. Now, why would she wear them beige shoes with that dress? Who is working with her? Why would not? Why did you a black shoe, another shoe? I don't know, but it's just It kind of reminds me, and I really hate to say this out loud on the recorded space, but it reminds me of Kerry Washington because you kind of know how when she goes on the red carpet, it's like it looks good, but there's always something that's off. And
And the color is right. It's just that strap and that platform. If it were like a nude pump of sorts, like a lube nude pump, well, I should say like a Caucasian flesh tone pump, if you will. It might have worked. It's just like the style of shoe, but I think the color is right.
okay, I guess I'm not a fan, but I love that dress. That dress is really really cute on her. Makeup was done fiercely. And she shared in her hot topic segment. She said that over the weekend she spent time traveling to a birthday party for I don't know if she said the lady's name was Laureen Hampton or Maureen Hampton, but she's an older woman who has been on a lot of a lot of daytime shows. She's been on Sherry, she's been on Steve Harvey. She was even flirting with Steve Harvey. But she celebrated her 100th birthday over the weekend, and Sherry was out there partying with her. Took some few pictures. And then she said on her way back on the plane, she saw Bill Duke. Baby, I don't know what I would do if I were to ever meet Bill Duke. I'd probably faint. Because I'm telling that is a you talking about an icon. And he was fine. Back in his day, honey, Bill Duke was fine. And then give me a hey Queen, my Libra Queen. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Did any of you happen to watch the American Music Awards? I did not either. I didn't even know it was a thing. Oh, but shit, I happened to miss it over the weekend. I didn't know it was coming on. But Sherry, she was able to talk about it. She talked about a few performances, such as like Sheila E. People who were on there, and she did mention that Gladys Knight was on there. Train to Georgia, and Sherry shared a fun fact that she actually on her first time at the AMA, she said 50 years ago, that was the song that she sung. So I just thought that was a pretty cool fact. And then I don't know if y'all remember, was it Friday's show when I was talking about how like a lot of times her hot topic team seems to be a little behind, a little delayed. So they actually she started to talk about DDG and Halle Bailey's breakup today on today's show. I'm like, okay, finally somebody mentioned it. Somebody told her what was going on. And let's see, she said that Cher was on the cover of Woman's World magazine for the fourth time, and in that she talked about the power of saying no. I should have took a picture of that magazine cover. In fact, let me see if I can find it for y'all real quick. Oh, here it is. And I'm going to share the link in the nest. Oh, well, that's not the magazine cover. Let me see if I can just save this really quick. But I guess that's her article, the power of saying no, self-care and all that good stuff. And here it is. And I'm sharing a photo of the actual magazine cover. So I thought it was pretty cute. The hair looks cute. I like the is that a dress she got on? Is that a shirt that's turned into a dress? And Sherry can do that now, ever since she got her breast reduction. So she don't really have those boobies kind of holding her down. And I know she feels so much better after that breast reduction. And lastly, what was shared in her her Hot Topic segments, the producer, executive producer John Murray, he was added to the what was it called? The New Power of New York 2024 list, which is crazy because he's only been there for 2 years. So, but good for John Murray. And yes, girl, they still have Woman's World. And she said, Sherry said you could see still find it at every magazine's stand in the grocery stores everywhere. You can still pick up that magazine. Okay, so that was enough of her hot topics. So we're gonna move on to her first guest. So her first guest, believe it or not, was Morris Chestnut, and he was on the he came on to promote Reasonable Doubt season two. I actually have not started watching it. I was a huge fan of that first season, so I need to get up on it. I think all of the episodes are available now to stream on Hulu. But let me show y'all that fine ass Morris, honey, and he was wearing that all white suit like he was Lisa Ray. So that's his one photo. He was talking about how he was married to his wife for 29 years, his wife Pam, and said that she's the star of the family. I just love how he did it because he know good and well that's not true. But I just like to hear him say it. And then I don't know if y'all remember, like it's a running joke that well, I'm sure y'all don't really rock with the Breakfast Club like that. I'm still one of the idiots that do. I kind of like them, especially ever since Jess Hilarious has been on maternity leave, and they have Lauren LaRosa filling in for her. So it's a little bit more tolerable now. Will with some- but Charlemagne always says that like people confuse him for Morris Chestnut. So Sherry asked him about that, and he said that actually did happen to him when he was at a valet. Somebody mistook him for being Charlemagne. Will said who? And also he says that so if y'all remember Boys in the Hood, he played the character Ricky who was shot. And he says that to this day, fans of the movie still yell "Ricky!" And he said that he loves it because he said because of that he never forgets where he comes from. And it was just a really fun, nice interview to see him in. He also shared that had he not gotten a haircut, he probably wouldn't have gotten that role. I know, girl, because you about to recognize him from the next photo I'm gonna share. And baby, how about because I always used to say right up until Morris Chestnut got bald and bearded, I didn't really think he was that attractive. He just looked very regular degular to me. And when he had hair, I wasn't really feeling it. But baby, y'all got to see this mess right here. And if I was on Morris's team, honey, I would have made sure nobody saw this photo. But oh, honey. So take a look at that, baby. Happy said you could tell where the veneer start and end. I am screaming. Look at that photo, girl, with him and that Jerry curl. Love those 80s pics. Yeah, that is very 80s, honey. And he said he was very proud that he didn't get any Jerry curl juice on that blazer. Oh, Sheila. I'm screaming. But yeah, he was saying that he got that haircut helps him to get that role. And when I tell you I'm so glad he cut that hair, because I just don't think that was a good look. Maybe because I'm from a different time. I'm sure when this picture was taken, I wasn't even thought of. So whatever. But that was a really fun interview to see him in. I'm sure you can go on Sherry's YouTube page to see if you want to see the interview. But I thought it was a really nice one. And he seems to have a nice, fun personality. But I can't wait to start Reasonable Doubt too. I heard it was. I'm hearing very, very good things about it. Next, she interviewed the iconic, and I'm sure somebody in the room is going to disagree with me, but I don't care. Sherry had a chance to interview the iconic Law Roach, honey. And let me show y'all this picture of Law Roach in this Vivian Westwood. Quinn, hey boo.
I was trying to say I was over here screaming out, screaming, talking about some weight. Um, yeah, reasonable doubt. Morris Chestnut. Let me just say, who God is good. God is great.
I know that's right. And
God
I
is
heard he
good.
was really, really good in it.
Listen, God is good. God is great. And this reasonable doubt is already good. And I was trying to figure out like how his role was going to like blend into um the storyline. And woo, Jesus, I don't know who they got right in, but I was like, okay, okay. Ooh, God is good. God is great. That's all I gotta say. And
I know
you'll
that's
see.
right.
You'll see. And
I
shout
know
out to
that's right.
Law, the iconic Law Roach. Yes, because his Birkin got a Birkin. A Birkin got a baby. That's his
Wake it
thing, right?
up.
Yeah, his Birkin got a baby.
I love when I tell you Law Roach is probably my favorite, like it definitely like top three my favorite Butch Queens out there. I love me some Law Roach. And I was a huge fan of that HBO show Legendary where he was one of the judges. He was like the Simon Cowell S type judge, if you will. Was very harsh in his delivery, and I loved it. But he was on. I didn't know that his official title was an image architect. So I thought that was pretty cute. And he was on there promoting his new book, How to Build a Fashion Icon. And he was like, the title is a little misleading because the book is really about confidence. He said you can wear a trash bag and be an icon. So I thought that was cute. And he said that he's been working with Zendaya since she was 14 years old. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. One thing we know about Law Roach Honey, he is heavy and he is like very media trained. Because anytime he was asked a question, he always brought it back to that book. He was Cher could ask him something like, yeah, you know what, you took a break from the fashion world. We all know that story that happened. He got tired of feeling underappreciated, so he kind of took a step back. But then Sherry like brought that up, and he was like, Sherry, that's why I wrote about it in the book. She was like, oh, how are you doing today, Laura Roach? I'm really good, but my book. And anytime she had a question, he brought it back to that book. I said, you better, and I love it. You got a book to sell. And then lastly, he said that he don't mind people perceiving him as a diva because that keeps people from inviting him to birthday parties. So,
Hey, I listen. I'm with. I am with him when he's right. Okay.
hello.
I am with him when he's right because I don't want to go to your birthday dinner. I don't. Don't invite me. It's okay. Don't invite me.
Yep. And happy that book title is called How to Build a Fashion Icon.
And that his actual title is yes, yes.
Yes,
The
honey, I love it.
the definition. The definition. Period.
And the last thing about the Sherry Show, as y'all know, she's doing the Real Good Time giveaway. So I put the y'all should see it in slide number 2. I put her website. If you were to click there, it should be one of the first things you see, the Real Good Time giveaway, where you have to put in the word of the day. Yes, you can share a link. Happy. So you put in the word of the day, and the word of the day, believe it or not, is daytime. Okay, and Happy shared a link to Law Roach. Is this his Audible, this audio book? So yes. And y'all give me one moment as something came up. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, y'all. Just had a family member came by to say hey. So now we're back. So that was the last of the
Hi,
Sherry show. So
family.
yes, she gone now. Had to get up and mute my mic, give her a hug, and all that good stuff. So let's get into some tea, horny. The tea from the news. And y'all know, for the past 3 weeks that I've been doing this, I like to start off with some Diddy news, the latest Diddy news in the news. And y'all have probably actually seen this already, but his mother spoke out, Janice Combs. And it's not surprising, but it's like, ma'am, you might want to kind of sit this one out because it's not really a good look. Now, I didn't know she was in her 80s. That is a good looking 80 plus year old woman. So go ahead, Miss Janice. And if she ain't got
Yeah,
no passport, so she can't go nowhere.
that's some good work.
Oh, but yes, she said, and I quote, I'm not going to read her because it was a very, very long quote, and I'm paraphrasing, but she was pretty much saying that like it's a lot of stories out here that's trying to paint my son as a villain and trying to destroy his character, which is not very hard to do, by the way. Trying to destroy his character. My son will have his day in court to finally share his side and prove his innocence. Um, I'm not here to portray my son as perfect because he is not. He has made mistakes in the past, as we all have. Girl, my son may have not been entirely truthful about certain things, such as denying that he's ever gotten violent with his ex-girlfriend when the hotel surveillance footage showed otherwise. Sometimes the truth and the lie become so closely intertwined that it becomes terrifying to admit one part of the story, especially when that truth is outside of the norm or too complicated to be believed. This is why I believe my son's civil legal team opted to settle the ex girlfriend lawsuit instead of contesting it to the end, resulting in a ricochet effect as the federal government used this decision against my son by interpreting an admission of guilt. I'm like, am I going crazy? Like, 'cause we all just saw the video, right? Uh, oh, go ahead, Will. I see your hand raised.
That her response is not surprising at all, considering that she was a single mother of a son, and typically, especially, well, I can speak from my own personal experience or experience that I've seen. Like, typically, mothers of single mothers of black boys or men, they put this notion of being the head of household, etc. So as they grow older, there's an expectation that they essentially will be the man in their life. It's kind of this weird dynamic going on. And so understanding that and then how he's been able to support his mother as if he were her man, uh, that her kind of statement, it makes a lot of sense. So it's not surprising whatsoever. So
I
it's best for the family to just hush.
I
It's
agree
hush,
200% with what you said. You are absolutely right with every single word.
quiet, please, because trust me, this is a federal case. They got your son in 12 different positions, no pun intended, but pun intended. So it would be best if they just stayed quiet until the trial, and then in the event that he is seen as innocent, which we all know he's not, then they can say, "Ha, we told you so." But up until then, hush, please, just brush your wig, stay where you were, and be quiet, please, Miss Janice comes.
Yeah, I agree. And this is a fun story that has nothing to do with nothing, but y'all know that I used to go see Wendy Williams show live. I think I've been there like around 6 times. The tickets are free, so why not? And my mom and I went the first. This was actually during her 6 week preview, so where it wasn't showing everywhere yet. This was like back in 2008, and my mom had platinum blonde hair. So Wendy saw her in the audience, was like, "Oh, girl, you look like Janice Combs." My mama was offended because she was like, "Wait, are you saying I look old?" So,
Yeah, and she should drag her to hell. What you doing, Wendy? Messy, messy.
so that was hilarious. Now let's see what else I got. Oh, happy! This is the story that I was teasing earlier, girl. But like y'all know, I don't know any kind of sports ball. The only time I know about sports ball is when it intersects with hot topics. And like I said, Google. I was actually giving Google News a shout out earlier today before y'all came in because Google it knows like the news that I want to see. And sure enough, honey, so football player for the New England Patriots, Jabril Peppers. Is that how you say his name? Jabril Peppers. Honey, that behind was arrested due to strangulation and drug possession. So he wasn't playing at I think they had a game yesterday according to this article, but it wasn't due to this to him being arrested. It was actually due to him like having some type of a injury or something like that. But the NFL actually come out. They really didn't comment much. They just said that they're investigating. I'm like, what else is there to investigate? Police were called. They nursed the lady's wounds because they saw like scratches on her arms and legs after being pushed into something. And then he had like possession of cocaine. So and then let's see, it said that he signed a. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to see how much because it said how much his contract was in here. Where is it? I saw it earlier. He said the police report also said that officers confiscated a clear bag containing white powder substances. Y'all know what that white powder substance is. Stop playing with people. Oh, it said so. Pepper signed a 3-year, $24 million extension back in July. So yeah, I'm sure that's probably why the NFL is quiet. They kind of want to protect that investment. So y'all was supposed to be boycotting the NFL anyway because of their anti-blackness. Anyway, enough on that. What we got next? Oh, I don't know if y'all saw this over the weekend, and I'm actually scared because I wanted to watch this video together with y'all, but seeing how the playback has kind of been a little funky, but I still want to try it anyway because it's such a short video. But Halle Berry she shared this video on her Instagram where it was talking about how what is his name? So the director Matthew Vaughn, he was the director of Kick Ass, the movie Kick Ass and Kingsman. He's directed the third X-Men movie. And what they were doing, he said some shady what they were doing some shady stuff behind the scenes. And I'm like, "Oh my God." So Halle pretty much thanked him for sharing that on her Instagram. And let me see. I'm gonna try to share my screen. And I'm gonna play like maybe 5 seconds, and then I'm gonna ask y'all how that 5 seconds sound before I move on. So give me 1 second. Okay, sharing my screen. Hey, my Sudanese queen. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so y'all should see, and y'all see the caption. It says, "You just never know the shady shit going on behind your back." Thank you, Matthew Vaughn, for bringing the dark to light.
So gross. So you know Matthew Vaughn, the director of the Kingsman movies and Kick-Ass? Back in the early 2000s, he was
Okay, so how did that sound for y'all?
It was good audio.
Okay, I'm gonna be right back. So we're gonna continue.
in line to direct X-Men The Last Stand, but ended up quitting the project. Apparently, he found out that the studio 20th Century Fox wrote a fake script with the intention of tricking Halle Berry into doing the movie. I can't with this shit.
One of the main reasons I actually quit X-Men 3, and this is a true story, and I don't care if I'm not going to say it, but Hollywood is really political and odd, and I went into one of the executives' office and I saw an X3 script, and I immediately knew it was a lot faster. I was like, "What the hell is this draft?" He went, "Don't worry about it." And I'm like, "No, I'm the director. I'm worrying about this draft. Tell me what it is, please." He wouldn't tell me, so I grabbed it. Literally, was like crazy moment when I grabbed it, opened the first page, and it said Africa, storm, kids dying of no water. She creates a thunderstorm and saves all these children. Oh, that's a pretty cool idea. Um, what is this? And they went, oh, it's the Halle Berry script. So I went, okay, because she hasn't signed up yet. But once this is what she wants it to be, and once she signs up, we'll throw it in the bin. And I was like, wow, you're going to do that to an Oscar-winning actress who plays Storm? I'm out of here. So I quit at that point. I thought, mincemeat.
Not only is that deceitful, sketchy nonsense on behalf of the studio, but it sounds like those extra storm scenes could have been interesting. Years later, Vaughn would go on to direct X-Men First Class, and he's got another story about Fox's shady business regarding the sequel, Days of Future Past, which he wrote.
And you were going to hang around, weren't you? You were going to direct X-Men Days of Future Past. Well, I was, but Hollywood forgot to tell me after I wrote the damn thing that legally Brian got to direct it first. So that's, I went, you know what, I'm not mucking around with Hollywood anymore. I'm going to go to Kingsman.
This is so gross.
Did y'all hear that shit? Did y'all hear that? That is insane. Am. That is, and like he said, Halle Berry, an award-winning actress. Y'all would do that to her just so you can get her to sign on, and then under the impression that, oh, this is going to be like a storm-focused movie, and then once she signs on, y'all gonna throw that script away. Are you kidding me? And it takes a white British man to kind of stand up and be like, okay, this is not right. I I can't. So yeah, that's that on that. And I'm sure
The
we're probably
saddest
gonna
part
find
of
out some more. Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry, I was gonna say the saddest part about that is because I've been hearing rumblings about a storm centered movie for many years. So I'm pretty sure after that, what he said, that's not gonna it's gonna become less and less of a possibility, which is sad considering that Wake It Up, Storm is the most powerful X-Men of that entire roster, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Then they had a nerve to bring that hunt. I, the thing about what's her name, Alexandria Ship. She's actually a really, really, really good actress. However, they always setting that girl up because her storm was it was like it was comparable to her Aaliyah. I guess she did the best she could with what she was given, and that's all I'm gonna say. So this next story is a little. Mm. How about a 50-something-year-old, a 51-year-old teacher got caught having sex with one of her students? So I just shared a link from the New York Post, and we're just gonna talk about this briefly because it's nasty and I don't want to spend too much time on it. But a Texas teacher named Jennifer Massey, 51 years old, a 51-year-old art teacher at Davenport High School, was arrested Thursday when deputies from the Kamal County Sheriff's Office made a disturbing discovery. The officers were checking in on the house in Garden Ridge around 6 p.m. following the 911 call of activity at the unoccupied building and allegedly discovered Massey inside with a male juvenile. With her nasty self. So the school has since the school has placed her on administrative leave. She won't be returning back to the high school. But I'm like, what does this mean? Does this mean because does to me an administrative leave doesn't sound like her behind is not able to teach moving forward. So I don't know. Nasty self. And that's
But
that
it is
on that.
Texas.
I don't want
It's Texas
to wake it
after all.
up. Wake it up. And our next story that I have for y'all, now this is from uprocks.com. Well, I'm sharing the Uprocks link, but the story is actually from All Hip Hop. Oh, this looks like I don't like the way this preview looks, so. Oh, hush, Happy. So yeah, I'm actually going to share my screen with this story because I don't like the way the preview looks. But Swiss Beats, whom we all know and somewhat love, y'all should see this. Sorry for the jumping around. So Swiss Beats has been accused of receiving 7.3 million in stolen funds connected to the One Malaysia Development Berhad scandal. So I'm actually going to continue to follow this story because I want to see how this turns out. Speaks received a whopping sum of 7.3 million in stolen funds connected to that organization that I just said, often referred to as 1MDB. In the paperwork, it alleges that Switz Beats, real name Kasim Dean, was tied back to, how do you spell? I hate to mispronounce this, but Jaholo, as far back as the 2010s. As the 1MDB fraud was underway, ooh, all these ads is making it. Let me click this shit off. Ugh, and I can't stand these sites with all these. I know y'all got to pay bills, but come on. A known figure in the Hollywood scene and developed a reputation as a businessman with deep pockets and a penchant of hosting penchant for hosting lavish, star-studded parties and group vacations, reads the suit. Throughout the early 2010s, Lowe befriended many U.S. celebrities, including Dean and his wife Alicia Keys. Between September 21st of 2012 and September 4th of 2014, Lowe and or Eric Tan caused the debtors to transfer 7.3 million to defendants. And during the same time period, the debtors did not receive any money back from the defendants or any other consideration from the defendants in exchange for their fraudulent transfers. And then it goes in about the breakdown of, those money between that period, how much it was. And then it said now liquidators are seeking damages in the amount of 3.3 million from Swiss Beach Productions, 1.8 million from Monza Studios, and then 2.2 million from Dean himself. The filer is also demanding that Dean cover attorney fees and other court costs. Swiss Beats has not yet addressed the lawsuit. So I'm going to continue to follow this story to see what comes of it and report back. She said Jaholo like J Lo. Exactly. That's what I thought at first. Swiss cheese. Goodbye. Y'all are hilarious. What else I have for y'all? Oh, so I thought this was pretty interesting. Let me see if this shares as well. And while I'm bringing this link up, go ahead, Will.
There's just one thing about Swiss cheese. I've been off him since he was talking greasy about the dancing lady. But he is such a fraud.
Yeah, yeah, he is. Yeah. I certainly appreciate his contribution to hip hop, but baby, and I just don't like how he like him and Mashonda and Alicia just parading around like they just one big old sister wife type happy family. It's just I ain't never because that was a really messy situation. So anyway, we'll continue to follow this story. Now, do y'all remember? Have any? Give me a thumbs up. Did y'all ever see the movie Zola? I'm sure y'all know the Zola story from Twitter and how that like just broke Twitter when that story broke. So do y'all remember the white girl who played in Zola, like that real hoodified white girl? So I don't know if y'all knew this, but this is actually Lisa Marie Presley's daughter, and her name is Riley. Is that Riley Keough? Is that how you say the last name? Riley Coe? We just gonna call her Riley K for now. So Riley K is actually going to be doing an interview with. I mean, it's going to air tomorrow. She's going to be doing an interview with Oprah Winfrey that airs tomorrow. I probably will not be watching, but I just thought this was cute. Had a really close relationship with her dad, which would be her granddaddy, Elvis Presley. Oh yeah, it doesn't look like this link is. I hate this preview. So I'm going to share my screen again. So yeah, you see where it says Riley K, the granddaughter of Elvis Presley, opened up to Oprah Winfrey about a deeply personal family memory. Her mother, Lisa Marie Presley, and y'all remember, unfortunately, we lost Lisa Marie 2 years ago. It says indistinctively sensed that something was wrong the morning Elvis died. Winfrey traveled to Graceland for Kay's first major interview since her mother died last year for an Oprah special, The Presleys, Elvis, Lisa Marie, and Riley, which, like I said earlier, which will premiere on CBS on Tuesday, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then will be available for streaming on Paramount Plus. And again, I probably won't be watching because I really don't. No shade to them, I just don't really care. But it says Riley shared that her mom, who was just 9 years old when Elvis died, had a feeling that something wasn't right with her father on the morning of August 16th of 1977. She says her mom woke up and knew something was off. And oh, where's the rest of? Oh, read more. Okay, so where's the rest of this article? She said goodnight to him, and I think she knew saying goodnight that she had some kind of sense. I think she had a sense many times that he wasn't okay. And I'm like, girl, of course you did. Even though you was only 9, you still knew that your daddy had a terrible diet. What was it? One of his favorite sandwiches, like bacon and peanut butter, fried on something, fried down and laid to the side or something. How Elvis had a terrible diet, and then he suffered like from gout, like a lot of times, allegedly. But it says, I think she had a sense many times that he wasn't okay. She would tell me that sometimes she would find him in the bathroom looking kind of out of it and holding on to the railing to stand up straight. She also wrote these letters when she was little. I hope my daddy doesn't die. So there's some kind of sense there, says Riley K. So I've actually had the chance to go to Graceland. This was like what back in maybe 2002 or 2003. It was a fun experience, and they did not allow you to go upstairs. They said the upstairs area was always Elvis's private area that he didn't want anyone other than family to go up there. It looks like they're going to be interviewing at Graceland. I think they're going to be interviewing in that upstairs area. So that's that on that. Oh, go ahead, Will.
I was gonna ask, did they find any razor blades?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Then Justice Smollett is still maintaining his innocence. And I'm going to share this article here from Yahoo. So y'all see this article from Yahoo says Justice Smollett says he spent $3 million in fighting that hoax case. In his words, I don't want to have a felony on my record for something I didn't do. Now, one thing I can say about him is that his story has never, ever, ever changed from the beginning. He has always said that he was jumped. He has always said that somebody said some racist, MAGA related stuff while he was doing that, while he was walking the subway at what, 2, 3 in the morning to get a sandwich. I'm like, Subway is never that good for you to be walking there 2 or 3 in the morning to get. Well, maybe if you want some cookies, I'll give him that. Maybe if you want some chocolate chip cookies or something, okay, then I can see why you would walk the Subway at 2 or 3 in the morning if they open. But he is maintaining his innocence, and he said he's still he's planning to fight. He said, "I want to have all of the says that he sorry saying that he's still fighting for the truth of what happened to emerge. I want to have all of these things in my life, and I don't want to have a felony on my record for something I didn't do." Smollett said in part. That's what we're fighting for. I know that on the surface it probably seems like, why doesn't he just serve the time? Why doesn't he just let this go? It will be easier if I had done this to say that I did it. I wouldn't have spent almost 3 million of my own money. I wouldn't have had a trial. So I don't know. I'm kind of inclined to, maybe I'm naive, but I'm kind of inclined to believe him over the Chicago Police Department, who has a documented history of fabricating the truth. So I don't know. Eh, I- See, situation, and I wish him the best. I really do. Now, anybody have anything to add before we move on? Because that's that on that. That's all I got to say on that. Okay, moving on. So do y'all remember oh, hold on, we might have somebody want to hello, my Rose. Thank you for joining me.
I'm supposed to be at work, so I'm just listening. I'm just saying. Don't tell my boss. Okay.
I will not. You have my promise.
I love you. Bye.
I love you more. So the next, so I think y'all, when was this? Was it Thursday or Friday? I think I did a story about how they ranked they did a vote on who likes Sheets and who likes Wawa more. And a lot of you have actually mentioned that you never even heard of Sheets or Wawa.
There's a Sheets in North Carolina, and that's the only place I've ever seen it. But they are coming to Virginia, so at
Mm-hmm.
least coming to Northern Virginia up here in DC. So I think it's very specific to an area because Wawa I've only ever seen in the Northeast and like Pennsylvania.
Yep, and Wawa actually won for best hoagies. People actually enjoy Wawa hoagies more than they do Sheets.
That's
So how
because
about
I'm from Pennsylvania.
oh
I mean,
well, speaking of girl, so how about they in the news for discriminating. So Altoona-based Sheets sued for discrimination in hiring.
mm,
And it's another thing that I shouldn't be surprised, but I kind of am.
again,
So it says this lawsuit alleges that the company engaged in unlawful employment practices at their Maryland facilities and business operations and all other facilities and business operations company wide through their particular employment practice of using criminal justice history information as a basis for declining to hire job applicants for positions. So basically, they was looking at these people's records and stuff and claiming that they were. This is what this lawsuit alleging. They claim that they don't discriminate against hiring felons, but it turns out that they actually do. So I'll read more about this, but that's that on that. Oh, it says here, so sheets can be found in Pennsylvania, of course, Maryland, Michigan, North Carolina, as Rose mentioned, Ohio, Virginia, and West Virginia. And it has over 21,000 employees. And I know Sheets is actually one of my favorite places to get a meatball sub from. So
I mean, ball.
that's that on that. Oh, go ahead, Will.
So in so in other words, Sheets is nasty. Got it.
Oh, shut up, Will.
Ew, that was so sharp. That shut up. It's so sharp. Right. I mean,
Now, this story here, y'all, I was like, I just want to share because this is so. It's one of those things like, girl, you play silly games, you're gonna win silly prizes. Let me see how this preview looks. Yep, preview looks good. So you see the article. I let my husband sleep with other women. He then moved his girlfriend in. So basically, this woman here was actually suffering from Crohn's disease and something else. The article said. Let me see if I can find it. It was another condition to where intimacy was painful for her. So she had a conversation with her husband and was like, "Look, I can't do it, so get somebody else to do it." Basically, so these two met this woman who works at a local pet shop, and shortly after they entered into a sexual relationship with um with the husband. It says just 3 months later, Laura, the lady's name is Laura, by the way. Laura was gobsmacked when her husband proposed that he wanted a polyamorous setup after falling in love with the woman. He suggested staying in a loving relationship with his wife while also having a sexual and romantic partnership with his new woman. That's how it was supposed to start. So it was just supposed to be just sex, only sex. After agreeing to her husband's proposal, she moved into a mother in law suite in their garden, but quickly felt disregarded and pushed out. The wife moved into the mother in law suite. The pair are now divorcing despite still living under one roof. And she says, and I quote, "Our marriage was under a lot of stress and my medical conditions put a strain on it," says Laura, who's from Georgia. "I wanted to give him this freedom so he didn't feel obligated to stay because of my health. I just wanted him to be happy in every way possible." Girl, because I thought that, correct me if I'm wrong, because y'all know I say out of straight people business, but isn't it for better or for worse, for sickness and health, to death do you part? Like, aren't those what the wedding vows say? And now she's surprised that her husband met this girl, this probably who was probably younger than her, but it doesn't say anything about the age in his but probably younger than this woman. Had great sex to the point that he done fell in love with her, and now he want to divorce her and marry this new girl. Like, man, what did you think was gonna happen? But maybe I'm speaking from an ableist point of view. But I'm just like, girl, if you play silly games, you're gonna win silly prizes. And when have men ever been when have men have ever able to be trusted like that? Excuse me, cis hetero men. I want to be specific. When have they ever been like trusted to do something that's like? eh, I think y'all see what I'm trying to say. 'Cause I can't even put it into words right now.
I mean, I think heterosexuality is proof that no one can control their sexuality.
Wake it up, wake it up, girl. So that is that on that. Now, this next story I'm going to share, I actually don't believe personally, but you never know. Like where there's smoke, there's fire. So apparently, Radar Online, they're reporting that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are separated and might be heading for divorce. They got this because they said that over the past 15 days, he had 10 different engagements, and Meghan was not at neither one of them. And it says the three main locations of his quasi royal tour include New York, London, and Lesotho. A source close to the outlet shared Harry and Meghan are going to live separate lives and have a blueprint for doing so. They have been drifting apart for a while, with Harry's desire to return to the UK, where his old drinking buddies are, and his hope to return to the very comfortable fold of the royal family, putting a real strain on their marriage. He hated their bids for starting with Netflix and Spotify getting pulled and them ending up ridiculed, and he's starting to miss England. I don't know. I don't know because he didn't he renounce that his royal position.
No, no, he didn't.
Oh, he did not.
No, and they've been saying they've been separated for years. Yeah, they always say that.
Hmm.
But
So
no,
yeah, I
not
don't think I believe this story.
no, no. Because it comes down to the fact that he was never going to pick them, and then we know who that is. And so they're looking for cracks, and it just might be they're adults, and they have separate lives. That's what you want. You want somebody
Exactly.
with you 24 hours a day. Ugh, disgusting.
Girl. And the last story I wanted to share with y'all. And I can't remember exactly when, but I believe it was last week sometime, and I shared a story about Whack 100 claiming that Drake sent a cease and desist for to Kendrick or to the NFL to prevent him from trying to perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. So Whack 100 is denying that he said that. He's saying that we took his words out of context. Now, remember, I played the interview for y'all. We all heard it. We all heard what he said. In fact, if y'all want, I can go back and find the video so we can play it again for that little quick second. Because he pretty much Whack 100 does his little thing on Clubhouse every week, and that's where he woke it up. But during a recent interview with Adam 22, and why do people keep going on that no jumper shot? Adam 22 scares me, y'all. I'm sorry. I just don't get it. It scares me. And then coming out when he came out there, he was like a cuck and he liked to recruit black men into his bedroom. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. So I don't- but yeah. But he Whack 100 said he didn't say that. And I'm like, sir, yes, you did. I heard it with my own ears. So basically, we shouldn't be taking anything that Whack 100 says like without a grain of salt. So, but I personally do believe that Drake, even though Drake has denied that he did this, I'm one of those people that think where there's smoke, there's fire. And Drake does have a history of doing things like this, doing like little shady stuff behind people's scenes. And this is I'm going to share a loose story that kind of makes me believe that there's some truth to him sending a cease and desist because I think he also sent one to Fashion Nova. So there was a viral Drake inspired BBL booty Halloween costume that was removed from Fashion Nova's website. And if y'all look at in fact, let me see if I can share my screen and that way y'all can see what it looked like. Pretty much had his berets from that album that he had, a shirt that says Poppy, and then a big old booty that was in the back. And now all of a sudden we don't see it on the website no more. And Fashion Nova hasn't released a formal statement stating why they took down the photos. Because Drake team done sent a cease and desist. Oh, and Bianca, what wasn't on your bingo card? What I missed? I'm sorry. Oh, Harry and Meg. Yep. Well, that's
But wait
that
a
on
minute,
that. So again, that was what girl?
Carrie and Meg, why the timeline so quiet about that? I just seen that. Hold up now. They was real big. Oh my God, we're getting an American princess. Even though that's not her title, and she'll never be that title. But now the timeline quiet that they breaking up because who couldn't see that coming?
White women have just been, I think it's white women or just women in general. It's not, generalized, but the fact that he didn't marry whoever was going to marry him was going to get hate, but especially because it was who it was, they've been looking for crack. This is my opinion, but
That part, but also too, like I'm a firm believer. I don't care what nobody say. Like that whole, oh well, we can make it work even if our families don't like each other. I'm a firm believer that if I'm dating someone with the intention of marrying them, that at any point in that relationship that there's issues with family members and like cohesive family members like mama, daddy, sister, brother, whatever. No, I'm good, love. You go ahead because ain't no way. You think I'm finna walk into drama, baby? I got my own drama with my own family. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? I do therapy for that. You think I'm finna? It's gonna be peace or there won't be no love. I'm sorry. Ain't no fucking way. You not and this is not even a private thing. Like the world been looking at this whole shabam. Nah, good luck. I wish them the best though. Amen.
I think
Sorry to
they
hear.
just have like bad intentions. They throw it all at these two, and it's unfortunate. And after a while, you're not protecting your neck. It to you.
Exactly. Also, too, another thing that people really don't understand, and in my aspect from my dating experience is like dating someone from different cultures is a very different experience. Also, dating someone who's like international, right? Like you're not from the same place, and having to come together, especially in a marriage, to try to figure out like how are we going to make this work, right? Because some people want to stay where they live, some people want to stay where they're accustomed to, as far as like lifestyle and culture and access to whatever. And it's a very very complicated thing to be adults and to say, hey, we can agree on this place and not make a person feel isolated, and feel like they're choosing to compromise with you more than they want to because they're out of their environment, they're their normal environment. And I think a lot of times people like to use the gaze of love, like, oh my God, I'm so in love. They let that love drug overshadow a whole lot and are not realistic. Like people are like, oh, that's pessimistic. No, that's fucking realistic. You want to be in a marriage? That's fucking realistic to talk about the hard shit. And that's one of the quietly hard things that people don't have a discussion about prior, an in-depth discussion about prior to getting married. But again, I wish them the best. Sorry to them people. That's not my business.
Okay. I'm gonna mind my American business over here, huh? And I stay out of straight people business anyway.
I lived in England. I was not surprised when she was like, I'm out, because those people are not nice. They're very rude. They're very mean. And I just went to school there. And you get you have and if you're not willing to sit there and fit into, like you said, fit into what the cultural landscape is, she being from California just wasn't ever gonna mix. And she wasn't there long enough. It takes anywhere from 6 to 12 months just to get used to the cultural, and it's gonna take you another year, like to really kind of settle in and understand the ins and outs. Um, I was very comfortable in British society, and I wasn't being shielded like at all. And she was. She was behind. She was there. She was being loved up. She was being love bombed. She was never really exposed to anybody, and she was only there for a year. Like my first year in England was rough, like rough. But by the time I left, I understood the ins and out and learned how to have a conversation with British people because they weird. And she didn't stay there long enough to really figure it out. So it was kind of like, girl, it's on you.
Yeah. Do you think it has something to do because why they're so angry and mean? Is it because they hungry because and that food is so nasty? Do you
Yeah.
think that might have
No, you know,
okay.
food isn't,
So
yes. Yes and no. The food isn't terrible. They're good at what they're good at. But, I mean, I remember one time I put some pepper and some food and this guy like crying and I'm like, you okay? He's like, it's really spicy. And I'm like, this is black pepper. So,
so, and from my experience, they
mm,
have from my experience, they have culturally, like they have access to actually good food because
yeah,
it's a very much a melting pot there as far
yes.
as like cultural diversity. It's just like the non, what I'm saying, the original ones. They just love mayonnaise and shit and beans and tea and all that and everything spicy, which is crazy. Um, but I think it's not even that. I think more so it's because of the weather. I tell people all the time, they're like, oh, would you ever consider going to UK? Absolutely not. Baby, no. I don't care how much I like a place. It be raining and drizzly and gray literally
But
I would say like 80% of the time. No. They be
it's,
like, oh, we get like 1 month of sun. Excuse
yeah,
me? It's a good day in London today. What?
the same. The weather, they have the same exact, because if you look at it, it's in the same, I think, longitude. But they have the same weather in Paris. Like it's cloudy and not cloudy. It's very rainy in April, I will say. But I think when they talk about weather, it's the fact that it changes every 20 friggin' minutes. I would leave my flat and it would be sunny without anything in the sky. And by the time I got there, it would be getting ready to pouring down rain. It's just schizophrenic. It's like, what is wrong with y'all? Like smoke some weed or something. But um, I really think it's just cultural, honest to God. I think these people are just kinky and weird sexually and aren't used to like liberated Americans who are like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like they're just so uptight. Just unplug and get relaxed.
Posh. There's some posh.
I know.
Oh wait, Auntie. Um, we just had a death in our social in our cultural family.
What who?
Sissy Houston.
No.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Philip just
I mean, how old was she?
91.
Well, see, I'm gonna miss her being the background singer, and Riri could have had it.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, rest in peace, sissy, with your homophobic self, girl. You will be
was
missed.
she homophobic? Yeah, she was homophobic.
Absolutely. She was the reason that Whitney was not in the lesbian relationship she wanted to be in.
No, I did know about that. Now let me tell you what I heard about that.
What you hear, girl?
I was 16 years old when I heard that Nippy was nipping. Mainly because my gunkle uh, was a part of the upper echelons of the Democratic Party in the 90s. So, everyone's kind of hanging around. And so he was telling us, yeah, she been like that. Like that's really who she was, like deep down inside. And that was like the main reason she was on the drugs. So like,
Yep, and remember Robin actually came out when she wrote her book, and she even did that interview with Wendy Williams and said that that there was definitely something there. So, well, may she rest in peace. I don't remember hearing that Happy. I don't think so. Happy actually she Whitney's adopted mom. Oops, she told us her tea during the "I'm Your Baby Tonight" video. Ooh, and so yeah, honey, Whitney she allegedly dibbled and dabbled. Well, may Sissy rest in peace, girl. Thank you, Quinn, for sharing that. Well, y'all, that was all the tea that I had for y'all today. So before we head out, did y'all have any other tea to share or anything I might have missed?
not that won't get me put in jail because I live in DC.
Girl.
I don't
Well,
know, but I'm just tired of seeing Lizzo's back from her hiatus. I'm tired of seeing her all over my timeline, half naked.
Ozempic Lizzo. I
I
mean,
don't know what she is. I don't know what she is. I love Lizzo down, right? Love her music, love her I used to love her image. Um but I bro, I'm tired. Go change the content. I'm tired. I don't want it. Stop it.
but she
mm-mm,
was
she said
always
y'all gonna see this back.
my woman though. Like she always was TMI. She was always oversharing.
Exactly, and I don't do that in my personal friendships. Like people who I'm close to, family members I'm close to, like unless it's something that is a conversation that needs to be talked about, like something very personal in that way. But you oversharing all the time, baby, I don't want to know. I no, I'm not close to you. Get away from me. You separate myself in real life. Like, and this on the timeline, I'm like, damn, I thought I had her name muted on the timeline. It just keep popping up, and I'm just like, bro, we don't care. We do not care. I mean, I personally don't
Hey,
care.
they pay to get at the top of that. I keep blocking Kylie Jenner and her stuff, and it's still
Jesus.
like, Jesus, I don't want to see you.
Yeah. I'm on the other end of that. I actually don't mind. I want her because I just feel like that it it the body positivity like it encourages other girls to be comfortable and I don't know it doesn't it don't bother me.
Gabourey Sidibe and like her journey because she was, flying rats and she got twins and she's so cute. I love.
They are cute. Oh, go ahead, Will.
Who has twins?
Am I saying her name wrong? Gabourey Sidibe?
Oh, I missed it. I didn't hear the name. I just heard the twin bit. Oh yeah, Gabby. Oh,
I just
wait a minute
missed it.
now. Kanye West and Bianca is divorcing.
Oh, good for her.
There you
Okay.
Well, that's nice. I miss the days when all around. Like they're telling us so much of their business and whatsoever.
Big facts. We know too much about too many people.
well. I heard in jail stop the crazy for some reason. They free. So see, they even dropped from his.
Uh, I'm sorry, brother. We didn't. I don't think we heard the words you just said.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, it's like I dropped in when they were trying to drop something and they go away. I don't know what F is doing. I do not care positivity. I do not care about. I don't care about BBL Drizzy. I just do that. We know too much about these people.
I know. I'm on the I like mess, honey, and I like to read about other people mess.
Oh, we know, Auntie.
Well, y'all, as always, it is such a pleasure for y'all to sit here with me and let me run my mouth. Okay, sounds like the audio is acting a little funky, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it now. But we will be back on Wednesday. We won't have a show tomorrow, but we'll be back on Wednesday. And again, thank you for listening to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea.
Bye, Auntie. Thank you as always for a
Bye.
wonderful show.